Hey guys, it's Tessa. I hope you're doing really good today. So I ended up asking you guys to ask me some questions on my Instagram and my Twitter so I can answer on my YouTube channel. So let's get started. If you start to hear a weird sound of like galloping, thumping noises, it's because my cats are crazy and they keep chasing each other around the house. We have like a wooden set of stairs, so every time they run up and down the stairs it's just like boom 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 boom. So if you can hear that, that's what it is. Okay, so let's get some questions up from my Instagram. I'm just going to go through them how they are written here. First question: how do people react to your dreadlocks? That's a good question actually. To be very honest with you guys, I've only had positive responses regarding my dreadlocks. I haven't had any negative feedback so far, and I think it's all to do with having confidence in the style that you choose to wear on your body. I feel more comfortable with this hairstyle, and I guess I kind of show that as well in my body language. So I mean, there's no reason for people to complain about my hairstyle. I mean, if they did, I haven't had anybody come up to me and say, hey, why have you got this? Like, because I want to. I also want to get into the habit of making more question and answer videos, because I've been making so many tutorials and how-tos and DIY videos lately that I just think it'd be nice to get more of a connection, interaction with you guys. Connection, interaction. Next question: the best and the worst thing about living abroad. Okay, we'll start with the best thing. I think it would have to be knowing that you are open to meet all these new people that you aren't going to get the opportunity to in your home country, and it's also seeing all these different cultures that you haven't necessarily seen before, because when you're living in your hometown or your home city, you know what to expect because you've been there all your life, you know what I mean? Also the possibilities of what you choose to do with yourself, it's just very mind-opening, eye-opening, or it's just a really nice experience to do. If you want to travel, I would definitely recommend it. Going travelling when you haven't got a lot of money, it can be possible. It's also not so enjoyable because you feel like you're trying to survive, if that makes sense. So it's good to have a little bit of money behind you, so you're not going to struggle and you are going to get the full enjoyment of the experience. Okay, so what's the worst thing about living abroad? I think the worst thing about living abroad would have to be missing your family members, because you know you're so far away from everyone that you know and love. It can be a little bit hard, especially when you know it's not so easy to just get in the car and you're only like 10 minutes away. It's actually, you have to get on a plane and then you can see the people that you really love in your family and your friends, unless they come over and see you, but it is very rare that they do that. So you need to bear in mind that unless you are a very independent person and you don't get homesick and you don't rely on your family, then you are going to be okay if you're going to live abroad. I did have about a 6-month period from the beginning of when I moved abroad that I was really homesick and I really missed my mum and my brother. It did take a while for me to get used to the fact that I was being like 100% independent. It was for the better. And I know that I have so many more experiences than what I would have had if I stayed in my home country, but considering I did live in a foreign country for 3 years and I did travel and I met new people, I wouldn't have changed any of it. Like, I would do it all again in a heartbeat. Like, Next question: why did you start to dye your hair? I think I started to dye my hair because I didn't want to be the same as everyone else, and I felt really boring having medium brown hair. So my natural hair colour is the same as my eyebrows, which is medium brown, and I guess I just didn't want to be the same as what everyone was doing, and they were just like putting highlights in their hair or having like a nice haircut. I just wanted to feel more creative and look like what I felt inside, if that makes sense. And inside I was filled with all these artistic ideas and all these creative things that I wanted to do. I guess my appearance didn't look that way and it was just boring, so I felt like a boring person. So now with colourful hair I feel more myself and I give people the impression that I am a creative person, rather than like, oh, You're just that normal, boring person that looks the same as everyone else. Next question. What was your favourite hair colour so far? I would have to say turquoise and purple. Every time I dye my hair with these two colour combinations, I love it so much. It just goes so nicely. I don't know whether it's because my favourite colours are blue and purple, but it's just so pretty, and especially this kind of contrast with the blonde is just my favourite. Definitely, this has to be my favourite. Every time I dye my hair, it always ends up being my favourite. Okay, next question. How are you still making money off YouTube, still making the same content for years? I guess having a YouTube channel that is consistent is the key. If you have consistency and you upload things that you know the subscribers are going to like and they know what they're gonna get. It's not like they're gonna click on the video and be like, this isn't what I expected. I always upload videos that you guys know what is coming, you know what to expect, and you know what I'm like. So you know, it's Tess's video, she's gonna have some cool music, she's gonna have some funky ass colours. That's just how it is. And I have to say, by the way, that YouTube isn't as good as it used to be. I cannot make enough money to live from YouTube alone. So I just wanted to say that, because if you guys are just assuming that YouTube is basically paying all my bills and everything, that is not the case. So sorry to tell you, you can't just live off YouTube alone. You do have to have another source of income. So I do have 3 different jobs. So I do have my online jewelry shop, and I do also do YouTube, and I also do sponsorships and modelling work. So there is other sources of income. Don't rely just on YouTube, because you will be very, very upset if you do. You'll probably be on the street. Okay, do you ever plan on dyeing your dreadlocks? Yes, I do. I really, really want to dye my dreadlocks at some point, but I wanted to kind of enjoy this blonde. When I was dyeing my hair, I was so tempted to dye them periwinkle, because I think periwinkle dreadlocks are so pretty. And I was gonna dye my hair periwinkle, but then I thought, no, Tessa, you've had periwinkle hair like all year, and then when it fades, you just dye periwinkle again. So I really wanted to have something different, and I guess I went with turquoise and purple, because the dreadlocks are quite new. So the ones on the bottom, I did them in May, June, July, August, September, October. So about 5 months ago. They are maturing quite quickly and they're tightening up really nicely. I'm just going to wait for the top dreadlocks to get a little bit more firmer, just to go with the ones on the bottom, which I made later on. When they're a bit more firmer, then I'll dye them, because putting conditioner based hair dye on dreadlocks, the only disadvantage about that is it can make the dreads kind of unravel, unknot themselves, make them looser. So if you're trying to make your dreads tighter and stuff, you've basically smothered the whole thing in conditioner based dye. So I just want to wait a little bit before I dye them, and then when I do, then they will have a nice texture to them, rather than being so flimsy that they're just kind of loose hair. You know, does that make sense? I hope so. Right, next question. How many tattoos and piercings do you have? Now, I actually answered one of these on my You Now broadcast I did the other day. I also have You Now, by the way, guys. I do Get Ready With Me videos on You Now, and I do go on there sometimes to let you know that I upload a video and everything. I counted my piercings, and my piercing count is 19. Yeah, so I have 19 piercings now. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There we go. That's it. I knew it was 19. I was like, wait, I've missed one out. I always miss this extra one on my ears. So, I will probably either be getting another one on my ears, or possibly getting my lip pierced. So, and the tattoo count, I've seriously lost count of how many tattoos I've got. Basically, they are covering both my legs and my hip, and I have it on both of my forearms. So I've got tattoos on both my forearms. I'm working on a sleeve right now. I do have my hand tattooed. I have an appointment for another tattoo in February, so I am waiting for a cancellation, so if a cancellation for that tattoo artist comes up, I'm gonna have that because I can't wait till February to get this tattoo done. So yeah, that's the story on that one. But I've lost count on how many tattoos that I've got. Like a lot, just a lot. Next question. Are you getting more dreads in the future, or are you happy with the amount that you have? I always picture myself with a full head of dreadlocks, and I see so many lovely girls on Instagram that have a full head of dreads, and it is my dream to have a full head of dreads. And every time I look at my hair, I'm like, I should just go for it. I just really want to see what it looks like. I know I've had the synthetic dreadlocks and I had my whole head in them, but at certain times I do feel like it's nice to have loose hair so you can like play with it, you can run your fingers through it. When you have dreadlocks, it's not so easy to do that. I have 30 dreadlocks altogether. I have about 5 rows at the back. Okay, so the maintenance for dreadlocks, the first few months is kind of a bit annoying. The first, say, 2 months of having them is an awful lot just to keep them in shape, to stop them from going really fluffy, and you have to palm roll them as well to keep them in shape, otherwise they can kink up and go wiggly because of the hair maturing and tightening up. It can be kind of frustrating when they are new, but once they get that firmness to them and they start taking proper dreadlock shape, so I'm waiting for that stage, that period of where it just does it itself, let it dread, it's all in the dreads now, you don't have to do anything. So when I think of having a full head of dreads, it just, for me, makes me think of, oh my god, that's so much more maintenance. Because the more dread you have, the longer the maintenance is going to take. I'd probably try and do the maintenance once a month, just before I bleach my roots, or just after I bleach my roots. Then I would work on the roots and make sure they're a nice shape and palm roll them. But at the beginning it felt like I was doing it probably like 3 times in a week just to stop the extensions from falling out. But no, I ended up sewing the extensions that was connected to my real hair with needle and thread. So I kind of did like a zigzag with the needle and thread all the way through, and now the extensions are not going anywhere. So there's a little tip for you guys. If your dread extensions keep falling out, just needle and thread with some cotton and just kind of sew it in. Yeah, little tip. Next. Okay, will you ever do red hair again? Also, I love you so much. Oh, thank you. Will I do red again? I don't know what it is about the colour red, but I just don't feel like it suits me. I just feel like the warmer shades, especially like red and pink, they make my skin tone appear so blotchy, and because I'm quite a pale person, it makes me look red. I feel like a potato. Well, not a potato. I feel like a tomato when I have that sort of hair, if you know. I just probably would not dye my hair red again. And if I do, I would be older. A question about nose piercings. I'm hoping to get my nose pierced, but I'm scared of having a keloid or it going wrong because it's on my face. FYI, love you and your videos. They really brighten up my day. Aw, thank you, Libs. The #1 problem about nose piercings, it can leave a keloid scar. Now, it only leaves a keloid scar if you don't take care of the piercing. I've seen so many people come into the tattoo and piercing shop when I was working in Amsterdam, and they basically never cleaned it, and they kept touching it with their fingers. Around the hole of the piercing, the skin will basically be slightly risen. It can seem harder in appearance, it can almost look like a bubble, it can go red, it can go like a dark brown colour, or it can even go black on certain people. That's all because they don't clean it properly and they don't stop touching it with their hands. So they've got tons of germs on their hands and then they're playing with the little balls. The only solution I would say would be to clean the piercing twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. With a saline solution that you can make from a cup of boiled water and a teaspoon of sea salt, and then you can either take like a cotton bud or a cotton ball, soak it in the water, the salty water, and then clean around the piercings, around the holes and the jewellery, and do that twice a day, and don't touch it. And if you do touch it, make sure you have washed your hands with antibacterial soap, and it's only when you're cleaning it. okay? And then you shouldn't have a problem. There should be no reason for you to get any keloid scarring. There would be no reason for it to get infected. That's the best advice I can give you. It's all to do with the aftercare. I haven't had any problems with my nose piercings so far, and I've just been keeping to those methods. No touching, cleaning twice a day during the healing process. When the piercing is fully healed, there would be no redness, there would be no irritation or itching or discomfort. I do still clean them with saline solution. So there you go. So I hope you found this video helpful, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to do something slightly different and something that I haven't done in a long time. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, go subscribe for more, and I will see you lovelies very soon. Bye guys!